Coach Fraser here with Full Circle Coaching and Consulting. And today we're going to tackle a really big challenge that I find all the time in coaching calls, right? People avoid conflict. They don't like confrontation. And I get it. It's uncomfortable, right? It gives us the jitters. You know, we have to we are vulnerable when we go into an area region of conflict and confrontation. But I'm here to tell you right now, today, that conflicts clarify. If you can get comfortable with conflict and understand that it gives you a means toward finding common ground and forward growth, it will change your life. So let's talk about this. We tend to find that there's multiple regions of conflicts that you can enter into your life. But professionally, we'll talk about business ownership, so team management and client management. So let's start with clients, okay? We call it often a carefrontation. Nobody likes to get into conflict, right? You know, but I think you need to reframe it as it's not an argument, it's a discussion to find a solution. Here's the challenge. Commonly, we may find a client comes into our practice and maybe they've missed several appointments, and so they're right off schedule and they're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And more importantly, that they're looking for, okay? Because they're not following through. This could be with exercises, this could be you may have given them some tasks, some things to work on, and commonly they don't do it, right? So there's nothing more disappointing in seeing someone literally create failure. So what do? As a doc, do you just shut up and kind of go through the motions because they're in your practice and you're getting paid and you know you don't want to offend them? Or do you take the high road and you exert that leadership skills and that ability to guide and really at the risk of maybe even losing a client? Well, I'm gonna encourage you to do what we call a carefrontation, all right? And it goes like this. If someone comes into my office and they're not following through, okay? They're not doing what we're asking them to do. The accountability is so critical in healthcare. I mean, that's your job as a chiropractor, in my opinion, is to help create accountability goals for people, because they're not going to do it on their own. That's why they're there, okay? That's why they're here seeking your assistance. So one of the things that I might say if someone's missing a bunch of appointments, I'm going to walk in and say, Mrs. Jones, you know, I'm concerned. I've seen that you've missed several appointments in a row, and I'm really concerned that you're not going to get the results you're looking for, okay? So is there something that we can do to help you here? And so here's the big thing. I opened the can of worms. You have to address it. If you don't address it, you basically give permission for the activity to continue. So there's two things that I worry about in my practice, Mrs. Jones: my reputation and your results, okay? And if you don't follow through with the recommendations that we've given you, you know, we're both are going to suffer. So let's figure out what we can do to resolve this. And sometimes it means, you know, my life is just so crazy, I can't do this right now. I'll say, great, let's pause, and why don't you come back when you can, okay? And I know that sounds crazy, but you're giving people, you're solving the issue. Okay, and you're also concerned enough that there's nothing worse than not getting the results, because that affects your reputation anyway, and it affects what they think about, you know, potentially chiropractic. Chiropractic didn't work. Well, no, it works. You just got to do the work. Okay, this is also really important when we have conflict within our office. Okay, the more that we let conflict go, again, we allow the culture to disintegrate and deteriorate, because we're not addressing the concern. So it's really important as a leader, you know, as an owner of a business, or even as an associate, bring up if there's areas that of concern that are an issue. You can't let the elephants in the room stay elephants. You've got to point them out, okay? And be ready to have an open and honest conversation. It's going to be amazing where it leads you to, because once you get clarity, conflicts allow clarity, because now there's an open and honest discussion about what the challenge is, and you get an opportunity to resolve it and move forward. So my tips for today, gang: conflicts clarify, don't avoid them. if you pursue them with an open mind and an honest and stay calm and unemotional with it, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your practice. Please start applying this today. If you like more tips on how to improve practice and your life and be more authentic and express more of your greatness to the world, hit the subscribe button, follow our channel, and have an awesome day.